Hello everyone, it's Linda from Full Moon Studio. Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought you might be interested in seeing some of my favourite floral books. Between them they cover about 150 years of botanical illustration by both professional and amateur artists. Let's start with this one. This is a particular favourite of mine. It's called A Victorian Flower Album by Henry Terry. Now, Henry Terry was just an ordinary father, Victorian father, and during the summer of 1873, he very faithfully recorded all of the flowers that his three children picked in the meadows each day. So it's not arranged alphabetically, it's not arranged by species, it is just literally the pictures of the flowers that came along. Now, the book measures around about, I think about 11, have a look. 10.5 by 8.5, so it's quite big, and as you can see it's landscape. Just let me tell you about the publisher. Published by Allen Lane and Godfrey Cave Associates, and in 1978, and this actually is a 1978 edition. So the thing that I like most about this book is less the illustrations, which are beautiful in themselves, but the thickness of this paper. I have used it as journal covers, TN covers, I've made folios from it. It really is a good, solid, sturdy paper. The illustrations are beautiful. They really are. So let me flip through a couple of those for you. I think I've got 3 copies of this book now. I've got one that's virtually finished, one that I've just started, and then this is my best copy. But as you can see, the beautiful illustrations. Occasionally there are some pictures of the children. Oh, there she is, that's one of the children. It's lovely. It's a stitch book, so it's very easy to pull out. You know, so you've got all of that, so you could make kind of a cover, but I'm out of frame, kind of a cover like that, and that would be quite sturdy. So that is that one, A Victorian Flower Album by Henry Terry. Rather bashed dust cover on this, but never mind. Actually, it's got quite a nice cloth binding. It's got a cloth binding and this lovely gilt titling. All right, let's pop that over there. Next on my list, unusually for me, because I do like wildflowers, but this is a little book of garden flowers, a pocket guide. It's pretty old. First printed 1952, reprinted 1956. It's even older than I am. So that is saying something. It's a tiny little book. It just measures 6 by about 4.5. So let's see. Let's give you the publisher. Frederick Warne and Company is the publisher. And it's by, I think it's by G.A.R. Phillips. Phillips, yes, by Phillips. So what I like about this book, apart from the fact that it's got lovely matte paper and it's a good sturdy weight, is that these pictures are arranged just like this, 4 to a page. So they're very easy. If you wanted to fussy cut, you can fussy cut. But I like them because I think they make the most wonderful mini journal cards or tea cards. They're just glorious, just cut out in a little rectangle like that. So if you didn't want to fussy cut them, I think they'd be great just cut out like that to make a tea card. So it's a sweet little book. Next on the list now, this is a grand favourite of mine. I again have more than one copy of it. And this is A Field Guide in Colours of Wildflowers. I hope it's not too shiny. 1,200 illustrations in full colour. And it is by Dietmar Akele, and it's illustrated by Marianne Golter-Bechtel. So it was originally a German book, published by Octopus. Let's see how old this one is. 1975, first published in English, and reprinted 76. So this is a 1976 book. So again, we're looking at a book that's over 40. And it's got an interesting arrangement. Let me just turn it up like that. Can you see the colours there? It's arranged by the colour of the flower, which is quite useful if you want to just grab a yellow flower out of a book. So there's some sort of, fairly boring botanical illustrations, parts of flowers at the beginning, but good for collage. And then you get on to the illustrations. They're quite fine, but they are perfectly cuttable if you wanted to fussy cut them. The book is stitched if you just wanted to pull a couple of pages out to use in a signature. And let me just flip now through. Let's turn to the yellows. Lovely. And then we go on to, well, it's got a red binding, but these are pinks. Beautiful. Then we've got the blues. Now I always think this is interesting because they're kind of blues and purples. But then they also do have a little section that is also sort of blues and purples. So I'm not really quite sure. That's more pinky purple, isn't it? But I think they probably had a bit of difficulty classifying these. And then at the end, we've got some, well, just sort of green ones. So useful and interesting to have a bit of greenery around the place. So that is that one. And then I've got this. Now I've got 2 or 3 copies of this. Constance Miller's Book of Flowers. It's an Australian book and it's a day book. So let me just tell you a wee bit about it. This is first published in 1988 by Webb and Bauer. I think this edition is 1988 as well. So again, pretty ancient book. But I find these quite regularly in the charity shops, actually. Now, what I like about this book, and the reason that I use it, is you can see how it's laid out. You've got an illustration on this side and the dates. So this is March 19th, 20th, 22nd. So why I like it particularly is that if I'm making a journal for someone special, if I know their birthday's the 20th of July, then I will put that page into the journal for them. I think it's great. I really, really love it. It's cream pages. It's not completely matte, but it's not shiny glossy either. So it's lovely. And again, it's another stitched one. Again, I just love this book. As I say, I've got several copies. And actually the December ones, although the flowers are not necessarily the colours that we would look at for December, personally, I've used these in Christmas journals because I think they're neutral enough to go into anything. So that's that one. And then finally, this big chap. So it's Wildflowers of the World, 1,000 Beautiful Plants, painted by Barbara Everard, text by Brian D. Morley, and I'll open it up quickly to get rid of the shine. So it's a hefty old book, nearly 12 inches by 9. So let me give you the publication. It's Octopus Books and published 1970, and this edition is 1974. So again, a book that's getting on in age. But this one is kind of different because it's big. It's, you know, it's really big. And some of the illustrations are big. But I've found, again, that I can use these. I've fussy cut several of these. Things like this, okay, they're on top of each other. Not easy to fussy cut. Great for collage. But there are quite often pages in it that you can fussy cut as well. And because they're Flowers of the World, some different ones again to the ones that we might be used to seeing, which is rather nice. So I've used this as a fussy cut book. I've used it folded in journals, and this is the sort of book that I like to make envelopes from. Just fold a page in 3 and stitch about it, and just you've got a simple envelope. And I've actually made, over in my Facebook group, we were having a go at these accordion envelopes, and this is from this book. And this was a business size. Oopsie, it's not going to come off now. Business envelopes. It was absolutely perfect for business envelopes. So that's that. I hadn't realised they were patterned on the inside. But it was an experiment, and normally I would, as I say, I would have stitched around it. But that's kind of an extra use for this book. I do like books that have got more than one use. So that is a very, very quick romp through some of my favourite floral books. Now, I hope it's been helpful. You might want to go and have a wee look. And I should say to you that actually most of my books I buy in thrift shops. I don't actually spend a lot of money on books. If you hunt, if you're lucky enough to have thrift shops near you, you can hunt. If you haven't got that, then obviously you need to go online and you're going to pay more. But there is, there's a limit to what I'm prepared to pay for a book. However, I'm going to wish you all happy hunting, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.